Okay, welcome everyone. We have Emily talking to us about sneak peeks and recruiting. So Emily, just go get started whenever you're ready.
I'm going to share my screen with you guys really quickly. I don't usually do slideshows because I'm not good at them, so I put it together for you guys to try to keep it organized, so bear with me here. But I'm going to talk to you guys today about how to rock sneak peeks and recruiting, which honestly, this was not always my strength. I've been a coach for 22 months now, which is kind of crazy. It's almost been 2 years. But even just in December, like a couple months ago, December, recruiting was my weakness. I could recruit maybe like 3 or 5 people a month. And then I really just kind of made a mental decision and drew a line in the sand that I wanted to hit pretty crazy goals this year and that wasn't going to cut it anymore. So I told myself, no matter what, I was going to be recruiting at least 30 coaches a month. I did that from January to now, and now I'm at 45. So this is my best month yet. But a lot of that has been from sneak peeks. So I do want to share some actual tools with you guys that you can use in your sneak peeks that can help you kind of do the same thing. So I always tell people, and hopefully you can actually see my boxes, recruiting isn't actually hard. And I had this mindset that it was, and that's what was really holding me back. Even in December, I called it my weakness. I would tell people like, oh, challenge groups, I'm great at those. I'm very strong at finding people, but recruiting is hard. Recruiting is something that I'm not good at. I'm weak at it. And so the longer that I told myself that, really the longer it stayed my weakness until I made that mental decision, like, you know what? If other people are out there, they're being top recruiter week in, week out, they're building their teams, the people are out there, I'm just for some reason not connecting with them or not finding them. So I really had to figure out what I was doing wrong. And I think what I found was that it's telling your story that can be the hard part. And I had my fitness story down to a T. Like, I know my fitness story. I had a pretty significant transformation with P90X3. Before I was ever a coach, I lost 45 pounds, and I knew that story like really well. But where I was really kind of holding myself back, I think, in my business was I wasn't sharing about like my actual life. Like, I was a super senior when I found Beachbody coaching. I never graduated, so I went the real expensive route and I have nothing to show for it. I was a finance major. I hated it. And like all of that, I was 21 years old and I had no idea where life was going. We were broke. Like, we just moved back from downtown Chicago, where I like to call it like our 20-year-old crisis. Like, we thought that was going to be our answer, was like moving to the big city, and we hated it. My fiance and I, it just wasn't where we were meant to be, but we lost like all of our money. So we came back, we were broke, and no idea what we were doing with our lives. And that's something that I was kind of embarrassed to share with the world for a long time, I feel like. And it took a lot of my relatability away. So what I really wanted to do is really build that emotional relationship, because that's what builds loyalty. Not only loyalty to get people into your sneak peek, but to get coaches on your team that want to work for you, that like want to do well, to see you happy, like to see your business doing well. And I think a lot of us have that relationship with our uplines. Like, I know that I do. Caitlin and I actually have the same upline coach. And when I got started as a coach, like, I just wanted to be her friend. Like, I wanted to do things well for her because I felt like we were kind of connected on an emotional level. And so I wanted to work my business for her. So not only should you be recruiting, high numbers, but you want to be recruiting people who actually want to run with this and make it a business. So that's something that I really started working on in my sneak peeks, on my social media, really everywhere, was putting a lot of emotion and story into all of it, and just like getting over the fear of telling my story and putting it out there. And I always let people know sneak peeks, they really aren't about the information. They aren't about, if you do this and this, you hit Success Club. If you do this and this, like, we have P90X and Insanity. Of course, I talk about Beachbody. It's changed my life, but it's not about that. Sneak peeks are about your confidence, your storytelling, your personal vision, not only for yourself and your team, but for the people coming into your sneak peeks. I talk a lot like they're already on my team, and I talk in terms of my team no matter what. Even if it's a sneak peek where my team doesn't necessarily have people in there, I'm talking about the team. I talk about us. Even from the beginning of January, I talked about us as if we were already a top team. And I didn't lie about it or say like we're at a certain number, but I had a confidence to myself that I hadn't had before. And I'm very confident in the fact that I can help people, I can lead people, and I can help them create a business for themselves. But I am a storyteller, and that's a lot of what you're going to get in my sneak peek. I'm going to go over my day outlines for you guys. I do a 3-day sneak peek. But that is why I feel like so many people take the plunge. And I'll have a lot of people say that they've had people maybe ask them about coaching before. They've seen people posting about it, and they just never had that kind of connection on the inside. And that's what made the difference when they were, speaking to me, or when I asked them about coaching or whatever that might be. it's because I really do. I put a lot of story into it. It's very, very personalized. And so they really feel like they're getting a little piece of me when they sign up. So people always want to know, I run weekly sneak peeks. Every single week I run a sneak peek. It's a well-oiled machine, and that is how I am able to recruit in high numbers. That's something that I really decided I was going to do on January 1st of this year, because before that I was kind of doing one a month maybe, and like I didn't have it planned out. Like if it was like I felt like I needed to add some coaches, I might do one the next week, and it wasn't planned out in my calendar. So I started to do them every single week, Monday to Wednesday, every week. I run a sneak peek without fail. I haven't ever stopped doing it. My team knows I do it. It's very, very consistent for people. What it helped me do was get better at them, because I was not great at them when I got started doing sneak peeks. I wasn't good on video, wasn't good sharing my story. That wasn't a strength for me, but I knew the only way I was going to get better was through consistent practice. So I do one every week. People always want to know where I find people. I can usually have about 150 to 200 people in a sneak peek a week. And so that's through really like a lot of consistency. I'm finding people on Facebook through mutual friends, common interest groups. I'm in a ton of those, like Disney groups or obstacle course race groups or whatever. Instagram hashtags. Instagram is really my jam. That's where I hang out the most. That's where I have a lot of fun, and I have a very loyal following over there. So that's where I find a lot of people. But something cool that I've like kind of dabbled in, and I've heard the idea, so I always let people know, is Pinterest boards. And I think it was Meg Wazinski that said it. Like you can actually go in Pinterest boards, and almost everybody has their Facebook linked in there, and you can find people with similar Pinterest boards to you. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like if you see somebody's like all about fitness or whatever, you can maybe create them on Facebook. It could be worth your while if you're really wanting to put in the hustle and get a lot of people in your sneak peek. And of course, people that you might know, like I know you guys know that, people in your life. But this really is like what I do. There's no secret sauce to it. I would say probably 70% of it comes from Instagram, just because I'm very consistent over there. So I have one every single week, and it's a 3-day sneak peek. So day one, I have a quick video in the morning, like it's like a minute, and I record it every week. It's just like, hey guys, like thanks so much for hopping in my sneak peek. I ask them to just like comment below with a little bit about them, their name, where they're from, why they're excited to be here. I ask them, or I let them know that they can go follow me over on Snapchat, and I'll be snapping throughout our next 3 days together, kind of giving them a behind the scenes look into a day in the life. So I love Snapchat. It's very raw. It's not filtered. You can do little video snippets. You can do just like quick little pictures. It's really fun. And so I kind of transition everybody over there as well, just so like you never know what somebody's going to see and be really interested in. So share kind of like a little bit of my day. And I use Snapchat anyway, so I think it's fun. And then I post like, I don't know, in the afternoon, I think is a good time. I post around 2 with my very first video. So it's my very first video check-in, and I lay them with the story card. It's like a 15-minute video. I record it pretty much new every week, because I think that it brings a new energy to the group, and it doesn't take me long. I don't edit it. I don't do any music behind it or like a flashy picture in front of it. I think that the raw footage, like when they can just see you kind of like hitting record and sharing your story, I think that that's pretty powerful. It shows that you're human, that you're not like, I don't have my light turned on, I don't have any mics going. I use my iPhone, and I just shoot a quick 15-minute video. So the very first thing I do in that video is I let them know about me. I let them know, and this is very relevant to my story, but I let them know, you know, a couple years ago, you never would have thought of me as a health and fitness coach. I was 45 pounds heavier, blah, blah, blah. And I really go into my fitness story and about how all of that changed my life, and how people started to ask me what I was doing, and I wasn't a coach yet. And I realized that there was kind of this opportunity to help people, and I didn't know how to do it because I didn't really know about coaching. I did the program on my own. I wasn't in a challenge group. I was going to become a personal trainer because that's really the only outlet that I knew like existed. And then I found Beachbody coaching. And so for me, that was a much better fit. I could help more people. I could work online. I could be more creative with it. And so I let them know about that. But I let them know exactly how I used to feel, how I felt when I had no direction, how I feel now. I mean, it's a fairly short video, but it is all story. And that's pretty much it. And I let them know about our team. And I think that's more close to the beginning of the video usually, is I let them know, you know, hi guys, my name is Emily. I am the founder of the Fit Boss Squad, my amazing team of fitness coaches, and I'm super excited for you to be in this seat right now. And I'm excited to share with you something that means so incredibly much to me. And then I let them know, you know, as a coach on the Fit Boss Squad, our mission really is to help people get healthy and fit. That's why we get started as a fitness coach. That's why we're all here. I let them know, and I think this is kind of fun. I'll go through and count up the success club points for like the month prior and figure out how many lives we changed that month. And then I'll share that in my sneak peek. So I'll let them know, we need help to help more people get healthy and fit. And this is kind of, we've been helping, I think last month we helped 166 people get started on their fitness journey as a team. And I let them know, I can't do that on my own. And that's why we have a team doing the same thing. So day one is story. I give them a little bit of insight into the team. I let them know that we help people get healthy and fit. Let them know that we're good at it. And then that's pretty much it. And then I ask them, just load me up with your questions because tomorrow we're going to do a Q&A. It's going to be really fun. Everything's on the table. You can ask anything you want. This is a private group, and I'll be happy to answer it for you. So day two, which is today, we're going to be doing a live Q&A via Facebook Live. So I didn't used to do them live. I would do them recorded. But now that you can do a live video within a group, I think it's really powerful. People can ask questions as you go. Again, it's not edited. They can see that I'm a real person. They can see that I am sitting down, taking the time to speak to them that day. It's not recorded, and they really get some interaction. And I think that that's been helping. Even in the past couple weeks since I started doing that, I think I was recruiting about 10 to 12 people a week before, and now it's more like 15 to 17-ish generally. And I think it really does have a lot to do with that live Facebook video. And right after it's done, it posts into the group as a recording, which is really cool. So I don't have to worry about going in and posting it. They can go back and watch it. They can watch it from the beginning. But it's a cool live opportunity. I do a post about it in the morning. I just did today, and I did just says live Q&A tonight, and I'm super excited. I'm going to be answering your questions live in this Facebook group. My sneak peek is all about excitement and enthusiasm and momentum. So day one, I get them in there day one. I'm asking them about them. We've got story going. Day two, show up for this live Q&A. Later that day, I post a short video about money. People want to know about money. They want to know what's possible. I give them the income disclaimer. I let them know exactly where I started because I was not a fast start. It took me almost 10 months to become a diamond coach. It took me a while to even want to recruit. I was really in this for the boot camps when I got started in the challenge groups. And that is kind of where I started. So obviously, I let them know, you're not going to be making however much right away. You do have to work hard at this, but there is a possibility here. And I'll share with them a little bit about how my business has progressed. And I let them know that it's pretty amazing too, because the only startup fee for your business is your challenge pack, your $140 to build your story. And I say you're building a story. They're getting a program, they're getting Shakeology, they're getting a nutrition guide, and I let them know up front. Coaches who sign up with this story building are much more successful than people who don't sign up with the program. Unless you've already done a Beachbody program, if you're not willing to try one, I don't want you on my team because you're never going to be successful. And it's not worth it to me to have to mentor you and then have you just kind of do nothing because you have no experience with it. So I let them know that I take that very seriously, but we're going to build a story together that they can share publicly so that they spark interest for their first boot camp. So right off the bat, I don't sign anybody up with the $40 coach sign up fee. First off, the way I see it, you get nothing for that. I'd rather spend $140 and get a program in Shakeology, even if I already have a program or Shakeology. I like Amazon Prime, and we might not even shop it that much, but for some reason I hate paying shipping. It's kind of the same thing. So I let people know, and I don't really tell them about the $40 coach sign up fee unless it's they already have a ton of programs, they're crushing Beachbody game, and then I'll let them know. But even then, I usually get them Shakeology and the club. And then day three, it's go time. So I do a quick video, and I let them know that there are, and I don't put a limit of spots on it because I think that's stressful, but I let them know that, the floodgates are open. Here's what your first 30 days are going to look like as a coach. If you want to sign up on the team, I do a new coach call on Thursday night to put some urgency into signing up quickly. So I let them know there's a new coach call on Thursday. As soon as they sign up, we're going to get them plugged into the team page. We have an online training academy that I created for our team. They're going to get access to that, and we're going to really start hitting the ground running and help them form their first boot camp. So I'm kind of setting that goal for them, setting that pace from the get-go. Before they're even a part of the team, I want them to know that I want them to be working and I want them to have success in their business. And I say that, something that I really love about this business, and I have a lot of passion in it, is helping other women create this lifestyle of their dreams, especially people who didn't realize that they could, because they've been there and I get that. And so I let them know that their success is very important to me. We really are a tight-knit team. It's harder as more people are signing up, but I tried really, really hard to really build a friendship with everybody on the team to build that loyalty so they'll want to work for you. So in that sneak peek, I kind of go over these 4 things, but just as a overcap. So number 1, who are you? Why are you a coach? You've got to let people know that. If in your sneak peek you're cold, you're not excited, you're nervous, you're, you're not showing your best self, you're not showing your personality, they're probably not going to respond well to it. So I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I speak loudly, I speak quickly, I drink Energize before my videos, so I'm a little bit hyper and bubbly, and that's just me. That's what they're getting from me. But they know who I am, they know why I'm a coach, they know my pure intentions with this, so I share that with them. I'm very confident. I'm confident in myself, and that's something I had to fake at first. In January, I was not a good recruiter, right? I hadn't built that skill yet, but I had to gain the confidence of a good recruiter. Even right now, I'm shooting for top 10 this year, which is like, that's pretty crazy. Can I do it? I don't know, but I treat myself as if I am a top 10 coach. I treat myself with the confidence level of a top 10 coach already. I'm confident in my team. I'm confident in those potential coaches succeeding, and I let them know that like all over the place. There's not a question of doubt in my sneak peeks. I'm not wavering in my confidence. I'm not wavering in my confidence in them. I'm letting them know I'm commenting, I'm interacting, and letting them know that why I think they would be amazing at this, or just like listening to their story. So you have to be confident. You have to lead with passion. If you're excited, they're going to be excited. But you set the energy in the group as like the leader, right? You are going to decide if people are kind of wish-washy. If you're filming your videos, and I know, like, they might not know that you're feeling nervous, but I swear it affects the energy in the group. So you have to lead with passion and excitement. Like, if you're talking and you're like this, and they're like, you know, it's not exciting, and they can easily stop listening to you because it's not pulling them in. It's just like a speaker on a stage. You're only going to listen to them if they have your attention. So I try to keep the energy high. I try to keep them excited, and you really do. You determine the outcome in the group just from the excitement that you put into it and the passion that you put into it. And number 4 is the unbreakable consistency. Your business and recruiting should be a thought-out, well-oiled machine. Don't leave this up to chance. You guys have crazy goals, and that they're not going to happen by luck. Like, that's just never going to happen. So unbreakable consistency, I always tell people when they want to know, like, what's your secret? How are you at Success Club 92? How are you recruiting so many coaches a month? How are you, you know, whatever. Number 26, because I'm highly consistent in my business. I love what I do, and that's why I'm so consistent with it. But like, I always tell people, like, I tell my fiance all the time, he's like, man, like, I don't know if other people have this consistency that you do, or like really show up as hard as you do. Like, when I'm here to work, and I'm very consistent with it. I have a schedule, I have a calendar, I share it with my team. They know what's going on in our team. They know about our team sneak peeks, so they can do well also. But it really does all boil down to the vital behaviors. And I know that it might seem silly, but this is something I reevaluate all the time for myself, and I'll find myself kind of wavering in one of the areas. Are you being a product of the product religiously? This is somewhere where I've fallen off track. Like 2 weeks ago, like we had kind of stopped working out for a couple days. It was nice out. Like we'd rather go out and have a couple of glasses of wine instead of doing our workouts. And my business crumbles when I'm not a product of the product. I'm not talking like have a six-pack. Like, I don't have a six-pack, but I can't share on social media, honestly, openly, when I'm not being a product of the product. I have nothing to share about workouts, nutrition, anything. I have less fire in my belly in those sneak peeks. And so, like, actually showing up, doing your workout, doing your Shakeology, you know, following the nutrition guide, I know it's silly, but it really does make a difference in your entire business. Sharing on social media, how well are you doing it? Like, I always look at mine, and I'm highly critical of my social media, but I think I've got it down fairly well. Instagram's definitely my favorite. My name over there is just Emily Kearbey, but I've gotten my brand and my voice and my story down to where on my posts, people are liking, they're commenting, they're interacting, they're tagging their friends. It's growing quickly. And I do that by sharing every day, but sharing with value. And I'm talking high value. Like, I put care into making sure my videos look good, or that my pictures are well lit, or that my caption is, you know, emotional or attention grabbing or eye catching or asks for interaction. And that's something that it can fall off track. And like, you might start posting like 2 times a day. I post 6 times a day. I'm there and I'm like showing up. And that's how I've been able to grow my account. I think in the last month, my Instagram has grown from like 2,000 people, maybe more followers. And I'm not doing like, go follow me or shout for shouts. I'm just posting with really interactive posts, and Instagram's new algorithms, they like, if you're getting more likes and comments, it actually pops up way higher and into a lot more people's like explore tab. And so I've had multiple posts lately go like, not viral, but like they'll get like 2,000 plus likes, which is pretty good. I don't normally get 2,000 likes on a picture, and that'll always bring me a lot of followers and a lot of interaction. And that really comes from sharing my story. Those are always story posts. And for me, I know my market. Like it is young 20-year-old girls who are literally like engaged and starting out in life. Like that's my market. That's what they relate to because that's my story. So I kind of narrow in on that and I run with it. Are you gaining confidence through personal development? This is something, again, that like it's so simple that it might seem stupid, but I probably listen and I listen. I can't sit and read. I listen to my personal development on Audible, but I can multitask with it. I probably listen to like 3 or 4 hours of personal development a day because it juices me. It makes my conversations better. It makes my social media better. It makes my life better. And so if I'm showering or cooking or like doing laundry, or even if you're like working out, like if you're really like strapped for time and you don't have it, like you can listen to it while you work out. I'm constantly listening to personal development. One that really helped me, and you guys might have already listened to it, it's really good, is the 10 Times Rule by Grant Cardone. It's amazing. Literally that book, like that was my best week in my business when I was reading that book. And I don't think that's a coincidence. So I'm actually going to be listening to that one again because it was really, really good. The 10 Times Rule. And then are you recognizing your team? That last vital behavior, like it's so important. And I started to recognize my team in my sneak peeks. So not just publicly, but also in my sneak peek. So like I said, I talk about the Fit Boss Squad. I talk about how many people we've been helping. I'll name drop. I will talk about, like in the money video, I tell them that I'm a full-time coach, but I have another full-time coach. I let them know that my coach, Jade, didn't have to take a teaching job after college because she's crushing it in her coaching business. And so that's just like little ways that I recognize my team and let them know it's not just me. And if you're like, you're still building up your people to where you don't have that, there's things that you can recognize them for. Like if they're on their way or they're helping so many people. I mean, there's so many different measures of success in this business. Some people want financial success. Some people really do. They just want to help people get healthy and fit. Like especially as a brand new coach, that's where a lot of us start, I feel like. So I publicly recognize my team. I publicly recognize them in the sneak peek. And I really stay on top of my social media game because I know that everybody going through my sneak peek is watching me. They're watching me on Facebook. They're watching me on Instagram. So I would say, like, when I have a sneak peek, I'm really consistent with my social media, but I have one every week. So that's really helped me both in my sneak peeks and on my social media, always be on top of my game because I want to be that presence for them of inspiration and consistency so that they can learn that as well. And that really is all that I have for this little slideshow. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. I know sneak peeks can be like a big scary monster, but it really is just about practice and consistency. So if your numbers aren't where they want to be, like maybe you should be doing 2 a month or 3 a month. And I figured out like for what I want to do, I need to do 4 a month. So I started to pull my time from other places so I could put it where I wanted to put it right now so that I can focus on my business. I focus on my team, but I focus on my business as well. So this is pretty time consuming out of my week, but that's for me and my fuel and my business. So I really try to keep that balance of like working on the team and then working on me and my success club and my new relationships and my social media.
That is great. Thank you so much, Emily. I know probably a lot of people have questions. I'll just kick it off really fast. So we have 10 minutes, so we'll go fast. So do you, your sneak peek's getting ready to start. Do you make direct posts like come to my sneak peek, it starts tomorrow? Do you like directly invite? Like do posts about it?
Yeah, I did a post on Sunday night. So I do one every Sunday. Usually I do them in Sunday morning. I actually like Sunday morning posts, like 10 a.m. I think that those work really well for my crowd. But this week it was Memorial Day. So I did it at night. Every Sunday night I have a call to action for coaching, basically.
Okay. So you definitely do direct. Perfect. And does anyone have any questions for Emily? Go ahead, Bridget.
So most of yours are coaches signing up. What about challengers first, or do you just kind of go with the coaching and then, or do you run challenge groups as well?
So I do run challenge groups. I just did a challenge group post last night, and that's something that I've kind of been like trying to figure out the balance. Mm-hmm. But what I always say, like those coaches are getting put into my challenge group. They're all getting started with a program. They're all getting started with Shakeology. They're getting to start their business, but they're also going into my boot camp. So they post in there like a boot camper. Like they really do. They post with their daily workouts. They post it like, so they're kind of getting the best of both worlds. And I've always kind of seen it as that, like, why get them started with half the solution to their life when they could get started with the full solution and possibly build a business for themselves along the way, or help people, like maybe they find passion in the groups, whatever. But I do boot camps only, but for me, I feel like I'm mostly like helping people through coaching, and boot camps kind of tied together.
Thank you.
So how many like challenge groups do you run a month or boot camp?
just one. I have a continual one. So I don't open a new one every month. I change the theme of it. So I'll change like the cover photo and I'll do like a, revamp your goals basically. But that for me is something where I was disorganized at first and it was taking up too much of my time. And I knew it was silly because they weren't getting anything added from like me bouncing around the groups. So I have one challenge group. Like right now we start fresh on June 6th with Summer Sculpt. But it's going to be the same group and I'll just kind of like change that cover photo. So every month on the first Monday is our new boot camp, the new theme, refresh goals basically.
So you do so you always have the same group and just be adding people all the time.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think I'm struggling with if I start, because I run 2 challenge groups a month consistently. And it's like, okay, if I go down to 1, because I feel like I'm spending too much time in my groups, not enough time recruiting. But if I only go to 1 group a month, then it's like, okay, well, if you sign up as a coach right after I recruit you and I don't have a challenge group starting for a month, it's like, well, what do I do now? Yeah. So that makes more sense.
I really stress it too. Like, I don't care if you guys all start on Monday. I don't care if you start in the middle of the month. Like, we're not all in the same program. We're not all on the same day of the program. This is a place for accountability and support. So I don't really care if you're starting on the same day as everybody else. Like, if I have somebody mid-month who wants to get help with their fitness, I'm putting them in that same group. I'm not going to make them wait. I'll let them know, go in there. And especially with BOD now, where they can instantly start streaming their workouts for free for 30 days. That's really cool because they can start instantly. They can get into that group and get started instantly if they want. They don't have to wait a week for shipping and then, to get started in the next one. And it's a couple weeks now and now they're off track.
So do you find that they consistently stay pretty active in the groups, even though it's a consistent, drawn out, same, like you do really well with your groups and everything?
They love it. Like, it's like, because I feel like they all get to know each other really well since it is so long. So the vets will keep posting. Like, they love that challenge group feel. And then new people see them doing it and it's just kind of contagious. I know I used to run a separate challenge group every month and I would have so many going. And it was like, some would be crickets, some would be great, some would be like wish-washy. And this is so like, I don't feel like that's something that I should have to worry about. I feel like I post in there once a day, I check into it, I answer questions, but the better engagement, like, it just makes my life easier and less chaotic.
I'm sorry, like, this is my biggest struggle right now. I'm transitioning, so that's why I asked so many questions. But what do you post daily? Is it like a daily thread? Like, what's your daily post you make in your group?
I just post post-workout, or like if I'm eating something fun, like I'll share a recipe, or maybe a quote. I don't have a guide, like I should schedule it probably, but I don't. So it's kind of like my own self-accountability. Like, if I post-workout, I'll share a workout selfie and a little bit of story, or I'll share like a meal or a snippet of my workout video or whatever. Like, just like basically how I would post on social media. Because I found so much of my time was going to creating content for my boot camp that like sometimes people would look at it, sometimes they wouldn't. And they actually started to interact better when they saw me in the trenches with them, just like being in a boot camp.
And do you just have them follow the Beachbody program that they get? Is that what you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you take people out or do you continually leave them in?
I don't take them out. If they want to take themselves out, they can. But I don't know. I probably could. But again, it's one of those things where I have to figure out where I want to put my time so that I can have a life and have my business. And I kind of have to like figure out what I want to focus on, roll with it. And taking people out of my boot camp isn't one of my priorities.
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. Do you always run them Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? You find that works the best?
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I
Monday,
like
Tuesday,
Wednesday because Sunday night's a great night for a call to action post, and then our online office refreshes for Thursday. So if I like was ever in a pickle, which like if I like needed something in my second business center or my first, like wherever, I could basically fix that on Wednesday night, and it runs week to week. And so I think for me, like having it end on Wednesday, I can know like, okay, this week I had this many people, this week I had this many people. It kind of helps me pace myself out within Beachbody's calendar.
Great. I love this. Any other questions?
So you mentioned you do Instagram mostly. Would you say when you do use Facebook, are you kind of repeating what you would put on Instagram to save yourself time? Maybe you just do less on Facebook, but you do more on Instagram?
Mm-hmm. So I probably post like 5 to 6 times a day on Instagram and then like 3 times a day on Facebook. Same content usually. maybe it's sometimes like we just booked a vacation last week. I didn't share about that on Instagram, but I shared about it on Facebook because it's more of a personal platform. But yeah, I'm reusing content. I'm not like gonna spend all my day making content for Facebook and Instagram. Videos, I love. Like I do workout videos. I try to do them every day. And there's like quick snippets of my workout. I love to share those on my Facebook like page and then boost it for like $3 or $4. I don't boost it for much, but it's growing my like page consistently. I think it's grown by like 40 or 50 people a week, and I don't do ads beyond that. Video boosts. So that's all I've been doing, like $3 a day.
Awesome.
Okay, so you're always recruiting constantly. How do you transition those coaches from like you're putting them in that challenge group, but also into the business part of it? Do you have a consistent like something in your business like starts monthly, like a training program that starts monthly, or how does that work?
So we have a new coach call every Thursday night because we do the Monday to Wednesday sneak peek. So Thursday night is our new coach call. And then I made a online training academy for them. It's a 30-day new coach training, so they can take that at their own pace. They get access to it when they sign up. I don't have to worry about it, but I can see. I use Rizuku, I think is what it is. But basically, it's like 30 days of training. It gets them through basically their first month, and so it's kind of like a rock the basics, except at their own pace. So I think it's usually helpful for people because they can, like, some people aren't ready day one and they need like a week and then they fall behind and then they feel like they're off track, where this is kind of like self-paced, so the rock stars can run, and the people who aren't going to run, I don't have to worry about dragging them.
What is the name of that again?
Rizuku, Ruzuku.
Okay. And it just basically, when they do it, it lets you know?
Yeah. So it's a training platform. It's kind of like Kearbey, except I like it better. And yeah, it's very easy to use. They can sign up. They have a password.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Okay, we're out of time. I'm going to make sure you guys all post. I'm going to put a post saying post your 2-week goals below, so please do that. Let me know if you need anything. Emily, thank you so much. That was so great. I took tons of notes. I'm also going to post the recording to our page as well, because I definitely think it's one to watch again. So let me know if you need anything, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.